Check it out, I managed to turn 2 cell phones into monitors for my A7S. One is using the HDMI out, and then it sends Wi-Fi signal to the other one. And as you can tell, the lag is not too shabby. The Wi-Fi monitor is probably not going to be any good for a focus pull, but maybe a client monitor. So the lock port mount converts the camera's HDMI to full size, but the ones for the old A7s are hard to find. Most of what I can see now is for the new A7S2s and above. Unfortunately, the lock port does block the multi-input USB port, which I will be hopefully using in the future for a remote trigger. The HDMI lock clamp that comes with the Sony would solve that problem potentially, but I do not have the appropriate micro HDMI cable as of yet. From the HDMI, we go to a cheap Elgato knockoff HDMI to USB adapter, and then to an OTG cable. This one is a micro USB. On-the-go cables are great if you don't already know. You can make a mouse work just like you would on a computer. You can plug in an external flash drive, use it as a mass storage device, use a video game controller. The sky's the limit. I am waiting on a better cable that has separate power input, as this setup will drain your phone pretty fast. I did get an OTG cable for my USB-C phone, but it did not work, and I think it was my phone that was the issue. Because I have seen this cable work on other YouTube videos in a similar application. The phone with the direct feed should be running an Endoscope app. There are lots of them and they're all pretty easy to install. Let me run through one now. First, go to your Google Play Store, type in Endoscope. And endoscopy is not a very pleasant procedure if you've ever had to have one. Tap on that first one. Install. Takes a second. Click on open. It's gonna go through all these options. Just continue all the way through to the end. Allow when necessary. It may show you an ad, but I haven't had it interrupt me during actually operating it. Click on camera. It is showing me an ad here. I was able to just clear it. One downside with this app is that it doesn't know what way your phone is configured, so you have to rotate it the way it wants you to rotate it. Next, you will need to install Lnkwire or an equivalent screen sharing application. So you will install, and then you will click on open, click on share, OK, and then you will change your permissions. Find the app, flip the toggle, go back, click on the permission. You can click don't show again if you want, and start now. If you want, you can turn on the mic. I will not have that because it will feed back. Repeat the installation steps for the second phone. When you get to the two options, share and access, click on access on the second phone, and that's where you'll input the password. I find inputting the information in the second phone is kind of not ideal when it's sideways, so I try to make it portrait mode. Put in the password from the original phone into the second phone. Click on access. I'm going to click on no thanks to the audio. The original phone will get a message confirming, and you'll just hit got it. Let me go back. Sometimes it'll change the screen. Got it. And now you don't see anything changing on the second one, but once you open up an app, it'll wake up the procedures. So I'm going to go into something, and you'll see it change on the second phone. So something at random. Oh, here's the camera app. Click on that. And there it is, it's on the second phone. You'll have to rotate it. And there you go. If you want, you can even use the onboard camera app on the original phone, and the second one will receive it. That's about it. If you want to know more about the rest of the gear, just keep watching. I'll just sort of label some of the stuff that I have, and all the information will be in the show notes and links to all the gear. All right, let's go. I'm using a cell phone power bank with a dummy battery to power my camera. It is possible to use the micro USB port in newer models. It's also possible to power the camera through the NPF battery using the adapter. Or I can use it for my Audio Technica lavalier receiver. Just happens to be the same size. The transmitter sends a signal to the receiver through the right angle XLR into my zoom in channel 1, which is a left by default input, and then that goes into the camera. And the right input is hard panned from the internal of the zoom, and being right pan makes it go into the second channel in the camera. That way it stays separate, and you can edit it later when you import the files. And both those signals come out of the headphones of the zoom and into the camera. The power bank, the handle, and the zoom are all attached to a 3-way cold shoe mount. It's a 504 HD Manfrotto fluid head, 8 foot tall, carbon fiber, 536 M Pros. I don't know if those are made anymore. There's a Fotomate. It's about 11-inch tripod plate adjustment unit so that you can slide the whole camera rig forward and back. Manfrotto 323 RC2 rapid connect adapter. While on the tripod, it's a bit shaky when you try to focus because of the small footprint on the shoulder rig and the release plate. Cine lens, 1.2 35mm full frame E-mount, all manual, using an Aperture MC magnetic RGB light. Attach it to a spring-loaded mic stand to adjust the lights. Got a ring light and a lightning bolt from the 99-cent store. This is a T5 integrated fixture. They're pretty bright, they're really cheap, and they're super light. You can get them at like Home Depot. They're great because you can daisy chain them. Here are a couple examples of me using them in some music videos that I did. Just to be clear, this is definitely not the high-end rig that you're craving. It's pretty wobbly, honestly, with the quick release and the small connection point between the shoulder mount and the plates. But, you know, we'll clean up the cables and we'll go from here. But there is some interesting stuff in there. I'll put a link to all the other stuff, the shoulder mount and the little cold shoe adapters in the show notes. All right, take care. Thanks for watching.